What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Lazy Girl World, and today we are talking about the final season, okay? Season finale. Series finale, okay? Season 3 of the Netflix series, Dark. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed and you like my content. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with everyone else that you know. So, this is more, I'm going to do like a what happens at the end, because this TV show takes you everywhere. It's like the 12 Monkeys TV show, but kind of on steroids in a way. And honestly, that's mainly because of so many people. In a regular TV show, it's hard enough keeping up with the all of the characters that are in there. And time travel already is tricky business, hard to keep up with times. Okay, what year are we in? But we have all of the times, okay, and we have all of the people. I feel like we're trying to keep track of 20 people across 4 different families across 100 years. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But one thing I just really want to talk about is the ending, okay? The ending of season 3 of Dark. So, the last episode of season 2, we realized not only are we time traveling across like 100 years, we realized there's another world, okay? Martha killed, okay? Then she came out of nowhere, all right? I was like, oh, what? So then, we kind of focus on this other world situation in season 3, because essentially, apocalypse happened in his world. Once she died, apocalypse came. So Martha's like, okay, well, she comes from the other world. She's like, I'll help you stop the apocalypse, or you can help me stop the apocalypse in my world. So the majority of season 3 was actually spent in her world. There were a couple of times when, like in the 1800s, where it was in the original World 1 that Jonas was in, that Jonas and the OG Martha were in, and like with Ulrich, Ulrich's original storyline, because I forgot he had a storyline on his own. It was confusing, and his was heartbreaking, man. That was sad. But we'll get into that part later. So, episode 8. Well, we saw this in a previous episode, but in episode 8, Jonas, or as he's known, Jonas as he's known later, Adam ends up tricking Otherworld Martha, okay? Ends up tricking her to be on his side, and although at the same time she's working with her own self, but he ends up tricking a version of her to be on his side, okay? So he gets her to, sleep with himself. So, that sounds gross. Sleep with the younger Jonas, and she ends up getting pregnant. And Adam tells her the baby that she has is the knot. Because, we've been trying to unravel this knot from episode 1, season 1. Okay, but he tells her baby is the knot. Then he don't say nothing else. Locks her in a cage. Eventually, takes her out the cage, puts her in a nightgown, has her on like this chair situation, like chained to it. And he's like, yo, I lied, alright? Everybody was lying, actually, throughout this whole season, or, the series. But he's like, I lied. We actually got to kill your baby. So, you and the baby have to go, actually. Because once we get rid of the knot, we can get paradise. And his idea of paradise, first of all, was like, literally was like 12 Monkeys paradise. It was wretched. It was like, yeah, darkness. I was trying to go for happiness at first, but darkness. No beginning, no ending, no today, no tomorrow, no yesterday, no nothing, no pain, no happiness, no nothing. Darkness. Cease to exist. Everyone. Okay? So, he decided he's going to take out her and the knot, okay? He's got her chained, and he's going to get the time machine in the world, and he's going to use the energy, because he realized, I can't kill you and the knot using just energy from my world. It has to be from both worlds. And he's like, we have the energy harness from both worlds, so I'm going to bring it down on you. And that is what he did. So he goes ahead, swallows her up. And at first I was like, how callous, you know, like you used to love her. I mean, not that one, but the other one. You loved her, and now you're just like, you gotta die. And so, you know, at one point in time, you could see his eyes, you know, like he cries a little bit. He looks down at his hands. Once she dies, he looks at his hands and he's like, why am I still here? This is supposed to be the end all be all. I'm not really sure why I'm looking at myself still. Claudia, okay? Old OG Claudia. I don't even know how she was still alive. She was shot. But maybe in the other world. That's the thing. There's other worlds. But okay, OG Claudia comes out the shadows and she's like, you thought that was the knot. But while you over here thinking you understand time travel, and Martha's over there thinking she understands time travel, neither one of y'all actually know time travel. Granted, Claudia knew it a little bit better than he did, which is why even though Martha knew time travel better than he did, which is why when he got young Martha and killed her, that's why at the same time Martha was able to get Martha, okay? She knew how to manipulate the time in a way he didn't. Like, he knew, was like, oh, there's another world, I could grab her. But Martha was like, okay, you grabbed her, but let me go ahead and create this alternate reality. Again, Martha was creating some alternate realities, okay? That Jonas had no idea how to really use. So, yeah. So, Claudia comes out. She's like, you thought there were just two worlds. You thought that was the knot. You thought you all's baby was the knot. It was not. I've been basically, Claudia was playing the field, okay? She's like, yeah, I'll work for you, and also I'll help you out a little bit too. Not that big of a deal. I mean, Claudia killed her own other self at one point in time, because she remembers her own self saying to her, she was like, man, at the end of this, Regina don't have to die. And Claudia was like, my daughter has died a lot of times. I don't think this is what the old Claudia meant, okay? Bow, shot her other self. She was like, she felt like her other self was lying to her. Technically, her other self was, okay? Because she was on Eva's side. She was on Martha's side. So Claudia decided for herself, you know what? Something's not adding up. Why are we having to go around and around and around? What is this knot? Even the knot doesn't make sense. So Claudia finally figures out there's something more. She's like, y'all thought there were two worlds. There were three. And not the alternate reality that Martha was over there making over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. Like 3 actual worlds. Claudia realizes that. So, and she realized that because of all of this was purely motivated by, like, love. Like, Jonas didn't want Martha to die. Martha didn't want her baby to die. And Claudia didn't want Regina to die. So Claudia decides, look, I am going to figure out a way to save Regina. She ends up realizing she can save Regina because Regina is not part of the entire knot that is their world of people. Okay, because she realizes Regina's father is not the father. So technically she's not entangled with those like 4 families. So that's how Claudia realizes, like, okay, Regina will be safe. There's this third world. This third world bore our 2 worlds. Our 2 worlds should not exist. What happens was this dude named Tannhaus, he lost his family. And we actually see that many times throughout the series. But I had no idea it had anything to do with anything. You know, Charlotte, that's all I realized, Charlotte. But that was about it. So, Tannhaus ends up losing his son, his daughter-in-law, and his granddaughter. Because his son, they were driving, and they got forced off the road by a truck, and they drowned. So the daughter-in-law and the son were found, but the baby was never found. So I don't know if that really had anything to do with anything. I feel like it did, though. I feel like it did. But anyway, because of this, he decided that he wanted to figure out a way to time travel, because he just went through something so extremely painful. He's like, if I have all this knowledge, let's put it towards some good use. Let's get some time traveling going on. So with him trying to time travel, he ends up creating 2 additional worlds, essentially. And Claudia realizes that, yes, he created 2 worlds, but these 2 worlds can be undone. Like, these 2 worlds, as she said, they're cancer. They're a result of something, of an accident. They're not supposed to be here. So Claudia gets Jonas, tells Jonas, get Martha. Y'all need to go to this other world. And which they do. So apparently when Tannhaus kind of like creates the 2 worlds, there's a split second in time where, or a split second during this whole creation, that time is frozen, and a bridge is created, and so Martha and Jonas go ahead and they wait for the bridge, and then once they walk through the bridge, they use their little time travel device to go back to the time to save his son, daughter-in-law, and baby. And turns out the baby's name was Charlotte, so they're still a Charlotte, So they end up being able to stop that, and son lives, daughter-in-law lives, the granddaughter lives, and so obviously Tannhaus never feels like that immense pain that makes him feel like, how do I bring someone back to life? How do I stop them from dying in the first place? So he never creates the 2 worlds, and we end up seeing like Martha and Jonas and Claudia kind of like disappear, not in-game style, but almost in-game style, like but it was kind of cooler. It was a lot lighter, not so much dust. So they disappear, and then they take us to a table where essentially there are only like 7 people there, and we see, obviously Charlotte's still a major part, Tannhaus is still a part, because they were from the core origin world, and then we have like 6 or 7 people at a dinner table, and we realize, okay, the ones that were in the other 2 worlds, these are from the origin world, so they were not affected by any of that. So we have Hannah, we have Helga, which turns out to not be the old guy Helga, but the young guy Helga that is missing an arm. And we have Catherine, we have Charlotte's husband, and the guy the person that he knew from like the trailer park or something like that. I can't remember that person's name. I can't remember anybody's name. I feel like there was one more person at the table. So at least 6 or 7, 6 people at least, maybe 7. And so at the time of the world's collapsing, the power goes out, or the lights flicker, I should say, and Hannah like looks at the chair and she sees a yellow jacket. So it reminds her of, I guess both Jonas and Martha had a yellow jacket. So it reminds her of Jonas, or not even Jonas, but it gives her a sense of feeling of deja vu. And she just kind of like staring off into space. So they get the candles lit, and she starts telling them about a dream she had. They're like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I had a dream where there was nothing, no beginning, no middle, no end, no today, no yesterday, tomorrow, no. It was just darkness, and it felt amazing, and nothing was scary about it." And they're like, And then turns out she's pregnant. And then they ask her, "What are you gonna name the baby?" And she's like, "I don't know." She was like, "I feel like Jonas would be a great name." And then that is the end of the series. So we see this whole time where we're just like stuck in this cycle, and initially feeling like it's just an Adam/Jonas thing, realizing no, it's not an Adam/Jonas thing, because Jonas figured out at some point in time there was another world. So then there's a Adam/other world Martha, okay, and then they find out no, okay, or them trying to figure out the knot, and then figure out no, there's 3 worlds. The knot has nothing to do with these 2 worlds. In fact, really, there is no knot. That was the thing. They felt like there was something tying the worlds together, and that's why they were doomed to go in this cycle. And Adam and Eve are battling. Adam's over here, or Adam and Eva. Adam's over here trying to get nothing, okay? And Eva's trying to make sure her child lives. But they're both perpetuating this horrible, horrible, horrible cycle of death and destruction and pain and sadness, and it's dumb. And I'm glad Claudia was there to be like, what? Someone's not thinking. And so she figured out there was a third world, figured out that that's what started everything. Now, I don't know how she got over there, though. That's interesting, because they don't say how. She realized, because she was the science person, that, there was another world. But she doesn't really talk about it. So now we have one world, and that's it. No more pain. Well, we can't say no more pain. I'm sure there is more pain. You know what? I realized there was one thing, because I did say something about Ulrich, that I want to talk about Ulrich, okay? Season 1 and I believe season 2, season 1 and season 2, he was just a dog, okay? He was married, had kids, cheated on his wife with Hannah, Jonas's mom, okay? Hannah wasn't no good either, because that was messed up, okay? Y'all all know each other, and you just gonna cheat with this man. And you talking about, I love you, and he gonna tell you you're beautiful. And okay, and then season 3, when we got World 2, okay, still a dog, bro. Still a dog. Hannah was pregnant, okay? Still cheated on Hannah, because World 2, he's with Hannah now, not Catherine, okay? But the crazy thing is, now he's cheating on Hannah with Charlotte, which he worked at the police station with. So World 1 cheats on Katerina, whatever, with Hannah. World 2 cheats on Katerina with Hannah. They get a divorce. Proceeds to get Hannah pregnant and marry her. And then cheats on her with Charlotte. And Hannah finds out. She finds a hair on that jacket. She smells the jacket. She finds out it's Charlotte. And then threatens Charlotte. Talking about, stay away from him. I'm not going to let you take him from me. Girl, you took him from someone. How you going to... You don't get to feel insecure. That's crazy. Okay. Now, obviously, Ulrich sucked. Okay. But let me tell you something. I mean, he sucked all the way around. Because he was just distraught about his brother when he found out both times about the whole time travel situation and who he felt like was responsible. And I honestly don't remember who specifically was responsible for his brother's death. There were a couple of people in another time travel situation that was very confusing to me when I first watched it, season 1. So I definitely have to go back and watch it. But when Ulrich finds out, or at least feels like, because I don't know if it's a finding out if it's true, or he at least feels like Helge Doppler is somehow connected to his brother's death. And in World 1 and World 2, he tries to kill Helge. Because, I don't know if it's in like a fit of rage, and also trying to see if he hasn't done it already, prevent him from killing his brother. And if he has already, obviously it's just revenge. And so World 1, he saw Helge as a kid, tried to kill him, obviously didn't take, because Helge ends up, living. World 2, he sees him as a grown man, still tries to kill him, both times with the rock, okay? So World 2, he ends up dying, because old Helge is like, I knew it was you that beat me up, bow, and ends up killing him. And then Claudia walks in and realizes that it was some craziness going on. She didn't have nothing to do with that. But World 1, Helge ended up getting caught, thrown into jail, and I forgot about that. So we get to see some of that storyline. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell it. We get to see that storyline in season 3. So season 1 or season 2, I believe season 2, Katerina realizes that the cave is a time traveling cave, so she goes back in time. She's trying to get her husband. This season, she finally figures out how to get into, first of all, because she's looking for her kid. Okay, first of all, she's looking for Mikko, but she also ends up figuring out where her husband is. She doesn't find Mikko. World 1, Katarina does not find Mikkel, but she does find Ulrich. And then, so she's like, Ulrich, I already know I'm going to get you out. She's like, just be standing by the clock at, it was either 5 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Either way, stand there. I'm going to get my key card from my mom, because her mom worked there at the time. Her mom was a jerk. I'm going to get the key card from our mom, and then I'm going to get you out, and we're going to go home. Okay? She did not. She got that key card, and then her mom killed her. Obviously, her mom didn't know it was her mom. She just was like, but she called her mom at one point in time, so obviously that freaked her mom out. And her mom was like, you're the devil. Get behind me, Satan. And she ended up killing, because she knocked her mom out with a rock. Her mom came to, ended up killing her, like in a fit of hysteria. She ended up killing her. And then, well, then she did something dirty. She ended up throwing a bunch of rocks in her backpack and then putting her in the ocean. And I just knew that she was going to like not be dead, and she was going to shed the backpack and come out of that water. She did not. She did not make it out, okay? She died, and Ulrich did not make it out in World 1, which is why both of those worlds had to be destroyed, because that was extremely sad. I was like, oh no, he looks so sad standing there, just sad face with the long hair. Oh no, he will be stuck there forever. Even though he kind of tried to kill a kid, so that's kind of what you get. You know, you don't get to leave. But, you know, obviously it was still sad though. But it was amazing. I love this ending. I love this TV show. What did you guys think about it? I honestly feel like I have to go back and watch it again. I mean, I feel like the ending was wasn't too hard to, you know, figure out. But I honestly feel like I need to go back and watch it again, because there were so many things that were going on. So many people. Even though I know how it ends, I just want to go back and dissect it. So yeah, so that was the ending of the TV show. Let me know what you thought. Bye.